Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to your favorite albums as book recs. So I've done a couple Taylor Swift adjacent videos. Well, they're not even adjacent. They are just Taylor Swift videos where I chose a Taylor Swift album and song by song I chose a book rec that best represents the song. And I thought this would be so fun to do with my favorite albums and just sort of give like one book that fits the vibe of the entire album. Most of these are just vibes. Some of them are like for specific songs or for specific feelings and genres, but they're mostly just the vibe. Okay, so if you're here for the vibes, let's get started. Here are your favorite albums as book recs. The first album I have on my list is a classic and also another Taylor Swift album. They're not all Taylor Swift, I swear. First album we have is 1989 by Taylor Swift, and the book I'm pairing with 1989 is The Hating Game. Number one, big city vibes. Very important. Welcome to New York. The Hating Game takes place in a big city, and they're working as publishers together, and it's an enemies to lovers, rivals to lover, workplace romance. So freaking good. One of my 5-star reads, and I had to pair it up with 1989. I feel like both the characters encapsulate like the nightmare dress like a daydream vibe because they're both like super attractive and attracted to each other, but they're just in this like constant rivalry with each other where they're just like making their lives absolutely miserable by joking with each other. But the banter is so fantastic and good, and I feel like this totally matches. Oh, and then here you've got that James Dean daydream look in your eye, and I got that red lip classic thing that you like. This is specifically based off the movie adaptation. Girl, Lucy Hale in a red lip, please. Love this book, and it's so 1989 coded, and I feel like if you love 1989, you're gonna love reading The Hating Game. So much banter, so much fun, and the romance is just... And next up, we have Harry's House by Harry Styles, obviously. And I'm going to be pairing it up with Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Okay. Just for the Summer. Number one, Harry's House is so summer vibes coded, and so is this book. Literally the most summer vibes. When Harry's House came out, that was on repeat in my household. Went triple platinum. Crazy. I love the summer vibes in it, and I feel like this also encapsulates the summer vibes of Harry's House, as well as kind of like the depth and deeper meaning from the album. There's a couple more like deep tracks that I feel like do relate to this book a lot, especially Emma, our main FMC, her storyline. She struggles with a relationship with her mother, and I feel like that's very parallel to Matilda and the themes of like family issues and that sort of thing. So that was kind of what was first pulling it together for me. And then also just like late night talking and grape juice just being like vibes of just summer and getting to know someone and a new relationship. I feel like Emma and Justin in their talking stages and their texting stage was so late night talking coded, such vibes and like such summer fun as well. It's just so good. If you haven't read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, I highly recommend it. I really love complex female characters, and I feel like Emma really had a lot of nuance to her, and I really enjoyed reading about her, although at some points I did feel kind of like polarized, but that's fine. It's thought-provoking. Okay, next up we have Sunburn by Dominic Fike, and the book I'm pairing up with this is actually The Roughest Draft by Austin Siegmund Broca and Emily Wibberley. Their last names are so long and I always mess them up, so I hope I got that right. But I just think the summer vibes. I'm doing a lot of summer book recs, guys. Like, summer's coming up. Sue me, okay? I just feel like Sick from Sunburn is so them coded. Like, you make me sick and we can't be friends because I'm still in love with you. I remember absolutely loving this one, and I think this is one that I want to reread for this summer because I think I read it in summer of 2022 or something crazy, like such a long time ago, and I remember like rating it super highly, loving the angst and the craziness. I think it's very like Emily Henry adjacent. Like, I see a lot of parallels in the writing style and the relationships, so if you like Emily Henry, definitely check out The Roughest Draft. But also Sunburn is just like such, I feel like, an enemies to lovers coded album, or just like angsty relationship vibes, and I feel like that is very The Roughest Draft. Okay, on a depressing note, I paired This Old Dog by Mac Demarco, which is one of my favorite albums of all time, and I paired it up with Normal People by Sally Rooney. If you're not new to my channel, you'd know I cannot shut up about this book. Actually, it was so funny. I went on Goodreads and I rated it a 3-star. And immediately I was like, I obsessed with this book way too much to think it was a 3-star, so I bumped it up to a 5-star. Anyways, Normal People by Sally Rooney is about Connell and Marianne going through a situationship from when they were in high school until they graduate college, and they're sort of like an on again, off again type thing, going through different relationships, learning about themselves, dealing with anxiety and different peoples and new experiences in college. I think it's a really great like coming of age book that's like very normal. I think that's what she was going for. But anyways, I paired this up with This Old Dog just for simply the Connell vibes. Okay, here's a direct quote from Still Beating is, "Honey, my heart still beats for you even though you don't feel it." I feel like that's so Connell. He so struggles with articulating his thoughts and feelings to Marianne, and I feel like there's so much miscommunication. Girl, if you don't like miscommunication, skip out on this book. But there's so much miscommunication because Connell can't quite articulate how he's feeling, what's going on because of all his anxiety and his fear of being perceived negatively. This quote exactly represents like Connell in a nutshell. And then I also feel like This Old Dog, the title track, This Old Dog, is so much about like changing and growing, but still feeling like you're the same person, and you know, you can't change yourself despite everything around you is changing. And I feel like that's also very Connell coded, and it's to the point where these characters feel so real in my mind that I'm just like, oh yeah, like this is so Connell. Definitely I'm gonna reread this one. I'm so excited to give it a reread because girl, reading it once is not enough. Next up we have Norman fucking Rockwell by Lana Del Rey. I had to put this one in here. I love this album so much, and I paired Norman fucking Rockwell with Daisy Jones and the Six. You're just a man. Billy Doon. You're just a man. Okay, first things first, the California vibe. California in the 1960s, 70s. When does this take place? Anyways, the California vintage vibes in both this and Norman fucking Rockwell are so strong that I was just like, duh, like these have to be paired together. Like when Lana said, "Goddamn man child, you fucked with me so good that I almost said I love you." And then also, Cinnamon Girl is so Daisy coded. And that's it. Next up, we have Sling by Clairo, and this one I'm pairing with My Friends by Frederick Bachman. This one might be a little delulu of me because Sling is like my favorite album of all time. I'm pairing this with My Friends simply for vibes, and that's it. My Friends was the 6-star read for me. I feel like I have to put this in every one of my videos that I make because I'm like, you just need to read this. I feel like a lot of the songs in Sling are very My Friends coded, just simply based on vibes. I don't know what else to say other than you should read the book. This story follows Ted and Louisa on a journey on a train, learning about each other's stories and their past, and we're mainly following Ted's story of him as a kid and his friend group, and that's sort of like the main plot of this book is Ted's childhood friend group, and it's so wholesome, so endearing. It's just like an insane read, and I love it with my whole heart, and I could not recommend it enough. This just lives with me forever, and I'll never get over it. Okay, next up is Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande, and I'm gonna be pairing it up with How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. This is one of my absolute favorite Catherine Center books, and I highly recommend you read it if you enjoy some of her other newer stuff. But How to Walk Away is about a woman who goes through like a very traumatic plane crash, and it's also following her relationship crumbling from this plane crash. She's now like in a wheelchair, and it's like a big change perspective from her partner, and he ends up cheating on her, breaking up with her. Meanwhile, she's still dealing with like, how do I continue to have a life in a wheelchair? Like, I thought that was so well done from Catherine Center of like her really struggling. I thought that was really cool. Cool. Well written, okay? And I feel like just in general, her failing engagement with her partner in the book was just like the biggest, like that was horrible. And I feel like it really pairs well with what Ariana's saying in Eternal Sunshine of like, she's finding herself, she's leaving people behind, she's picking herself up, she's learning to be content with who she is. And I just love the themes of like loss in love in this whole album, and I feel like How to Walk Away definitely has giant loss in love themes in the book, so I felt like that was a really good pairing. And finally, we have Stick Season by Noah Kahan. This one was one of, I feel like, the hardest ones to place, because I was like, I'm not gonna pair Stick Season with like a silly romance, and it's also like so fall coded. And then it freaking dawned on me, I have the perfect rec for this one. The Catcher in the Rye. Hello? Okay, first of all, one of my 6-star reads. If you know me, you're not surprised. Stick Season is so like winter sticks. The transition between fall and winter, and I feel like The Catcher in the Rye is so fall winter coded. We're following Holden Caulfield while he's been kicked out of his school and he's just wandering around New York City in sort of this like limbo state between him being in the reality that is private school and the reality of him going home and sort of telling his parents about it. And I feel like that sort of in between feeling, especially since it's in the wintertime and he's roaming around New York, like it's very Stick Season coded, and just like the atmosphere and the vibes. I also feel like Stick Season is a very like coming of age vibes album. I don't know how old Noah Kahan is, but we're just gonna roll with it. This book is like one of my favorite coming of age books ever, and I feel like Stick Season also has coming of age energy. I don't know. And then a lot of the lines from Homesick like weirdly resonated with Catcher in the Rye for me. When Noah Kahan says, I stopped caring about a month ago and since then it's been smooth sailing, is so Holden. He just does not care, and it honestly brings like a funny twist to the book. It's just so funny because Holden's so young that like how he reads this, he's like, oh, I don't care, but then like deep down like he's so pissed about stuff and has so many strong opinions that it's like, Holden, you do care, but whatever. And then also I mean, because I grew up in New England, and it being placed in New York, like New England, whatever, had a big like impact on this as well. But I just thought it was so funny of like, I mean, because I grew up in New England, like I feel like if Holden listened to this song, he'd be like, yeah, same. oh my gosh. And then finally, All My Love is so Phoebe and Holden coded at the end of the book. Every time I read the end of the book, I sob like a freaking baby as Holden and Phoebe's relationship like really starts to develop within the book. We learn like how much Holden like really truly loves her, and that's kind of like the only person that he really shows a ton of real and raw affection within the book, and I just thought that was so All My Love coded. Okay, well, that's all the book recs I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a like. But I hope you enjoyed yapping with me about my favorite books and my favorite albums. I love both books and music, and I could yap about it all day, so thanks for being here. Thanks for making it to the end as well. If you want to check out any of my stuff, it's always like linked on the screen here. But with all that being said, guys, I hope you have a great, wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!